say you're in the alt comedy scene.
Yeah.
Do you ever do the black rooms?
I never really have. No. I mean,
would you like to?
I don't know. You know, I feel particularly stung because it's always been because of the way that I speak and the way that I act and the way that I dress. It's always my blackness is always under investigation, if you will.
They don't believe you.
So it's like, and a black room, it usually denotes a certain style of comedy that I don't necessarily do. So, but instead of them just seeing me as not funny, there's this other level of I'm also a traitor to my race.
Because of the way you speak.
Because of the way.
Now, did your drama school do that, or is that just the way you were raised?
It was my grandma who did that. Yeah, it was my grandmother was very, very adamant about being educated and speaking in a way that an educated person speaks. I would constantly hear her talk about like basketball players that like college basketball players. She's like, they're going to college. They sound like idiots. She's like, why are they even in college if they sound like this? She taught me how to write cursive when I was in kindergarten, so it's like the combination of my grandmother and my mother, putting such an emphasis on education and all that stuff that's always been my focus, so it's like, but black people are, as a whole, we are, is that a text? Black people as a whole, we're obsessed with authenticity. We're obsessed with blackness. Jesus Christ. I start talking about race, guy, and you just start falling all over the place. You got texts coming in, dropping your phone. There's things that are buzzing. You just pissed yourself. I don't know what's going on in here. What is the funny?
So what you were saying, though, that there can't be a dichotomy here of caring about education and being black.
There can be, and there is. And a lot of black people see it that way. I know a lot of black people who don't like black comedy, because they think it propagates certain stereotypes and certain attitudes and ideas. So they're completely turned off to stand up because they think it's going to be one thing. And then they see me. I've had a lot of what I do best in front of a mixed audience when there's a little of somebody. Because a lot of the times black people will come over to me and be like, thank God you're different. You're not a black comic, whatever the heck that's supposed to mean. And you know what? I can't hate, and I've done it, but I can't hate. I've learned not to hate on black comics who do that style because there's a place for it. And a lot of them are just good. A lot of them are just good comics. There's people who can do black rooms and alt rooms, and they work in all of them.
Yeah.
I unfortunately, I haven't gotten to that place, if I'll ever get to that place. But I can name like 5 people off the top of my head that they're just killers, and they work everywhere, and they're black.
You were part of a documentary with Hannibal Buress.
Yes, Buress.
I got it wrong.
It's okay.
I've interviewed him, and he told me that. But, once you have the two in your head, you go, it's 50-50. Is it Buress or Buress?
Oh, right.
Anyway, but, he performs mostly to non-black rooms.
Yes, that's
right?
true. Yeah. He's considered more of an alt comic himself.
Yeah.
Also. But Hannibal probably could work in black rooms because Hannibal is more so than me. Like, if I wouldn't doubt that if I didn't say I was black, people listening to this probably wouldn't know by the way that I speak, right? I talk white, which has been a bone of contention for a very long time. And I have certain rhythms. You have to be a little bit. I have certain rhythms and certain accent things that you're like, oh, okay. If you knew, you would like. I can personally tell a black person from a white person when they're singing. I can always tell, even if I've never seen the band or heard. There's a difference. Even if it's a black person that quote unquote sounds like if opera singers, I can tell if they're black or white.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know how.
So not just black American.
Actually, yeah, specifically black Americans.
Specifically,
yeah.
But Hannibal is very laid back.
Well, but Hannibal's from Chicago. See, that's the thing. Hannibal's blackness is apparent. That's what I'm saying. He has a Chicago accent. He speaks in a way that when you see him and you hear him, you're like, he is a black person. You're not suspicious. His blackness is not under investigation.
So, but here's the thing, though. From what I've seen of the black rooms, mostly on TV, I guess only on TV, is that they have an energy to them, and they're very confident.
Yeah.
Hannibal is laid back.
He is,
and they might just eat him alive, whereas you have a real energy on stage.
I don't know. I haven't been in a black room for a long time. I've done well in black rooms.
There you go.
I have done well in black rooms, but I've also bombed in black rooms, and of course, those are the ones I obsess about. But I've also the two biggest bombs ever of my career, which were long, long ago. One was an all-black room and one was an all-white room. It was like a gig in New Jersey at a restaurant where I just ate my knees for a good half hour. I was supposed to do 15 minutes. I just rambled because it was going so horribly. I had no idea what was happening. I was like, I got to get off the stage. And I got that great, the other two comedians they killed. They did well. And we're all sitting at the bar. And of course, the bar's right next to the door. So everybody that came by, it was like, hey, you were really funny. And then they would just look at me and then walk away. That was it.
But you never then said, oh, I can't play white rooms the way you did.
No, I'm just saying
black rooms.
I just think that any time where an audience is all one thing, I'm not going to do well. Mm-hmm. That's been true in front of an all hipster audience, even. Yeah. Where it's like they all want to see, anytime there's a room that's all one thing, there's like this unspoken feeling of we're all the same, and they want to see a comedian that is the same as them.